So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host Saieed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. So we're going straight into our update tonight, viewers. The Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation, through its Traffic Management Unit, has begun installing a new road safety signs at key locations nationwide. This move supports its ongoing priority to improve road safety. The signage will guide all road users and public transport operators by providing clearer directions and regulations to reduce collisions, improve traffic flow, and encourage discipline. Some areas include the Diego Martin Highway, the northbound and southbound, the Beetham Highway near NP, overpass eastbound, Grand Bazaar ramp to south eastbound, and the Uriah Butler Highway, Caroni and Shogunas southbound. So Trinidad and Tobago, when traveling on the highways that I just mentioned, you can look for the signs, and at least we're going to read some signs now in Trinidad and Tobago on the highway. Update number 2. Chief Justice Ivor Archie prepares to retire debate, is intensifying over his successor and the selection process. Sources within the judiciary says President Christine Kangaloo may favor former DPP Geoffrey Henderson for Chief Justice, but judiciary insiders view appellate judge Mark Mohammed as the front runner. Members of the public have also called for High Court Judge Frank C. Prasad to be considered. Now Trinidad and Tobago, I could tell you about Frank C. Prasad. I would support Frank C. Prasad. To be honest with you all, the man is perfect for this position. When I tell you perfect, he is perfect for this said position. I feel the experience he has and listening to the public, the plea, the cries, I mean his fear. So if I have to support any of these 3 judges, I would support Frank C. Prasad. Under the Constitution, the President appoints the Chief Justice after counseling or consulting with Prime Minister and opposition leader. But critics says the process lacks transparency and gives the President the final say. So viewers, in the coming days, we are going to see who is appointed the next CJ for Trinidad and Tobago. Another update, the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2025, which allows people to acquire citizenship through their grandparents, was narrowly passed in the Senate after debate went past midnight. The final vote was 16 in favor, 13 against, and 1 abstain. The opposition opposed the bill. Most independent did not support it, with only temporary Senator Wesley Gibbons vote in favor and Senate Courtney McNeish abstain. So there you have it, viewers. The bill has passed, the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2025, which allows people to acquire citizenship through their grandparents. Not bad. In the US, it's a problem right now to get citizenship. Problems. So current affairs tonight, Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to Tobago. Minister in the Finance Ministry, Dr. Kennedy Sauratan Singh, responds to concern expressed by Tobago House of Assembly Chief Secretary Farley Augustine, who claimed or called for Tobago to get a fair share of the national budget. Sauratan Singh stated that everything this government does is for national development of Trinidad and Tobago. Listen to this.
Tobago is a very important constituent group and a very important part of the national landscape. So I wouldn't discuss numbers because that's not my place. That's for the Minister of Finance to discuss. But I am sure Mr. Farley knows how important they are and all that we do here is for national development of both Trinidad and Tobago. So I'm sure his views will be taken into account.
So now, viewers, the minister also stated that his views will be taken into consideration.
What would be a message to him right now, considering what he would have said and the concerns he would have expressed?
No, Mr. Farley is right to express concerns, and he, again, an important constituent group. So obviously, he's not only well respected, but his views are also appreciated. And I'm sure the Minister of Finance will take what he says into consideration.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, let me just give all a little heads up before you all didn't notice. You notice the minister said, and he did not jump his portfolio, that the numbers, the Minister of Finance, who is Mr. Devendranath Tanku, will give the figures. You notice he did not jump his portfolio, and I've been noticing that with the UNC members, the UNC MPs. They are not jumping their portfolios. They are not rushing to come out and blah, blah, blah. Do you know how we are the PNM ministers and them? Some of them I used to ask them, I said, which portfolio you for again? So how come you relating to this one? And how come you relating to the next one? That is not your job. Your job is to manage your portfolio. I remember the PNM MPs used to do that. You can't tell me no. I often highlight that. But nevertheless, we're moving on, viewers. We go down to Penelope now, the leader of the opposition. So you all will love this. Opposition leader Penelope Beckles have claimed that soldiers are now being nourished. Soldiers are not being nourished properly, she said, at the various army bases across the country. So listen to this. Beckles said, this is a matter of national security, as she called for answers on the condition of soldiers. She urged the government to pay attention to the situation of the troops and noted that this is happening while the government insists that the army is ready. Listen to this.
I saw her saying that Trinidad would be ready, Now, what I find interesting is that I want to ask the Honorable Prime Minister to pay close attention to what is happening down there at our base, where the men and women are not being fed. Right? So I made the point before, right? They don't have food. And they just, in some instances, I heard is spaghetti, is rice, is no meat. So you're talking about an army that is being ready, and yet still they don't have basic supplies.
So now Trinidad and Tobago, who was the former Minister of National Security for the PNM. So now, in response to this, I would love to hear what Wayne Sturge have to say and Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander. I would like to hear their respond to Penelope. So now, Penelope said they are getting spaghetti and rice. I want you all to understand something. The UNC has been in office for 4 months. And any allocation given to the Ministry of Security in Trinidad and Tobago would have come from the previous administration. I want you to understand this. Any allocation for national security would have come from the previous administration, which was the PNM. Now, my thing was now, I want to ask Penelope Beckles how long she had this information and which one of the army camps or bases throughout the country is eating spaghetti and rice. This is what I want to know. How long have this been happening? Penelope, you see, I'll tell you this. When you come to make a statement, make a statement. Make your statement. Trinidad and Tobago Army has been eating spaghetti and rice for the last 4, 5, 6 months. Come out and make your statement. Give us a time frame. And I keep saying this to the PNM. When you're saying something, say it properly and done. Don't say an undone sentence. How long has the army eaten spaghetti and rice? This is what I would want to know. You come out, you make a statement, you cut it in half. Now you expect the Prime Minister, Kamala Persad-Bissessar, to look into it. So Penny, why you didn't tell Trinidad and Tobago, well, it's 5 months now they're eating spaghetti? Why you didn't say something like that? Keep in mind, Trinidad and Tobago, the present administration, which is the UNC government, did not read our budget as yet. They did not allocate no funding to no organization or department or ministries. I want to let you understand this. So whatever money that ministries have presently, it would have been allocated from the previous administration. I want to let you understand how this thing running. That is why all the ministries are being audited. So they will know exactly how much they have left. Does that bring news to you? Beckers criticized Minister of Defense Wayne Sturge and Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander. She is calling for the government to explain if soldiers truly have the ration and equipment to which they are entitled to. Penny, you are asking about equipment? So you expect, Penny, you expect the whole camp now with the equipment to go along in 4 months. So because of a new administration took office, you want to know about equipment. So Penny, let me ask you something. For the last 6 months in 2014, we're in 25. We're in 2025, right? So the last 6 months in 2024, Penelope, what was the army equipment like? What was their ration? What were they getting to eat on a daily basis? Let me ask you that on national television. You now want to find out about the equipment that the army officers has. So I want to know now, Penny, since you now want to know that, right? I'm asking you on national television, live. The whole world is listening. 2024, for the last 6 months, can you give us a breakdown on the ration, the food the army used to eat, and the equipment that the army had, or they were using for the last 6 months in 2024, Penny? And I am sure Trinidad and Tobago would love to hear what you, Penelope Beckers, the leader of the opposition, has to say. Because the president, the UNC, allocate no funding for Sturge Ministry, which is the Ministry of Defense, and no allocation for Roger Alexander for the Ministry of Homeland Security, Penny. These are ministries just created. So now, she is calling for the government to explain if soldiers truly have rations. This is what Penny is asking now. You want to know about the 4 months the UNC was in power? I want to know about the second half of 2014. This is what I want to know. So compare the last half of 2014, the last 6 months, straight up until April 28th. and then judge now from April 28 to present. And then you will find the problem. All of a sudden, Penny finding problems. All of a sudden. Now Trinidad and Tobago. Beckles also warned about the regional impact of the aggressive approach to combat drug trafficking in the Southern Caribbean. Penny, you should be ashamed. Let me tell you something. You should be totally ashamed to ask the present government, 4 months in office, about combating drugs. How long Fitzgerald was there for? Come on, Penny, say something. Head of the Security Council for Trinidad and Tobago has been Dr. Keith Rowley for 9 consecutive years. What does Penny have to say now? Now, Trinidad and Tobago, having said that, I want to let you understand, I am not affiliated with any political party in Trinidad and Tobago. But I want to show you something. Penelope Beckles was in power. She was in cabinet. They did nothing to fix drug trafficking in Trinidad and Tobago. But Penny now wants to find out what's going on. What shall I do to combat something? It's sad. It's sad now, Penny. She recalled that the Caribbean has historically been a zone of peace and asked the government to clarify its position on the presence of the United States vessel in the Southern Caribbean. So I want to ask you, Penny, did you have Coast Guard patrol in Trinidad and Tobago? Beckles said the military operation without transparency have frightened fishermen and coastal communities. Penny, oh God, girl, it's a shame. It's a bloody hell shame. Which one of the PN minister said what Trump could do? Which one of the minister that said that? Oh God, the bald head one. Which one of the PNM ministers said Trump can't do nothing? All remember that, Trinidad and Tobago? All remember that? Is the bald head woman, I can't remember her name. Trinidad and Tobago. I'm going to get the name just now, we go hit man. I'll get the name. Camille Robinson Regis. And she said, what Trump going to do Penny, let me tell you something. Trump ain't doing Trinidad nothing. Trump ain't doing Guyana nothing. Trump ain't raiding Venezuela. Trump ain't doing Mexico nothing. You know what they're dealing with, Penny? And I will tell you, because you and your whole ministerial party seem not to understand. Amy Brown didn't do anything, being a foreign affairs minister, did absolutely nothing. He stood by and watched. The PNM administration sent $1 million US to Venezuela. Could he come out and tell Trinidad and Tobago what and why and how you could do such a thing? So now, Penny, you want to know what the US is doing? They have their military in the international waters. They have them in the Caribbean waters. They're not in your territory. They're not in Venezuela authority. They're not in Tobago. They're not in Guyana. They are in international waters. They are in the Southern Caribbean. It belongs to who, Penny? Good. Good, Penny. I'm glad you understand that tonight. But nevertheless, viewers, Becker said the military operates without transparency, have frightened fishermen and coastal communities. Listen to this.
So I want to urge the Prime Minister about being careful about the rhetoric that you use. I'm reliably informed. I didn't say they are starving. Right? I said that the ration that they normally are entitled to, that is not there. Talking about fishermen, you know what it is. So we know that if we look at all our communities, Moruga, Oropu, Chota, Hiti, whether it's Mayaro, whether it's Las Cuevas, whether it's Blanchishes, Maracas, people depend on that for living, Claxton Bay. So I mean, this is a situation where our third vessel that they have had to address with the allegation about drugs, and we all know that this issue of drugs, there's international law. So if we say that violent attack them, I mean, what are we saying to our people in our country as it relates to the issues of the rule of law?
So Penelope, let me just give you a little update. Morga fishermen working as normal. Let me give you that update. Let me give you that update. And you know what they're complaining about? The fuel cost is high, while the price of fish, well, it's not so healthy. So I am giving you that information, Penny, live on national television now. So with Penny having said that, Trinidad and Tobago, she called on the government to explain if soldiers truly have the rations and equipment. Listen to this.
So I want to urge the Prime Minister about being careful about the rhetoric that you use. I'm reliably informed. I didn't say they are starving. Right? I said that the ration that they normally are entitled to, that is not there.
So you see why I asked you that now? You see? It's sad that all of a sudden Penny finding things and Foreign Affairs Minister Amy Brown finding one set of things. But Amy Brown cannot come out and tell Trinidad and Tobago why we give Venezuela $1 million US. He can't say that. They're afraid to come out and say that, Trinidad and Tobago. They're afraid to come out and say that. But nevertheless, one day I'll give all of that info. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, more when we return.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our south branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you. For you. For you. For you.
throws you a curveball. And you need a clear path forward. Trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, a reply to Penelope Beckles. You'll be surprised to know what Sturge found out. So if Wayne Sturge recently found this out, what you are going to hear, which means it has to be happening before the UNC administration took office. Rock back, open your ears, and your eyes might pop out. But nevertheless, listen to Wayne Sturge. Minister of Defense Wayne Sturge said, ordinary soldiers are being starved of food and other basic resources, while the Defense Force top brass lives luxurious life. Sturge made a stunning revelation as he responded to an equal starlighting claimed by opposition leader Penelope Beckles that soldiers will not be nourished properly at the army base throughout the country. While Sturge did not deny Beckles' statement, he asked her to answer truly about how long this sordid state of affairs has existed. When did she first discover that this was the case? Sturge acknowledged some of the issues raised by Beckles. Sturge said to get a first-hand account of what was happening on the ground, he decided Trinidad and Tobago to breach established protocol and make unannounced and improper visits to several military installations across Trinidad and Tobago. So viewers, in other words, he's letting you know that he went to South without notifying the commander in South that he is coming. Unauthorized visit. He decided to go down Tetron. You pop up in Tetron without letting the commander know that you're coming to Tetron. The reason why he did that is to see first-hand on experience on what actually takes place. He didn't give anybody, well, hey, you're not coming on Friday. So the big boss will be like, you know what? Today is Monday and he coming Friday. We go put everything in our gear. So when he come Friday now, the place spick and span. They have a little groceries in the cupboard. Boots shine up. Uniform in our gear. Truck real clean and nice. But Sturge didn't do that. He didn't do that. Unannounced visit. Boom shot and you get it right there. So Sturge is asking Penny now, how long have this been going on, Penny? When did you discover this? When you reach in opposition? So it's only when you reach in opposition, Sturge, then you realize this. There's a uniform there. A clear uniform. So Penny, you have some answering to do. You see the same thing I now tell earlier, you know. The very same thing I now tell earlier. Come back to me. The very same thing. 2024, the last 6 months, what was going on with the army camps and the soldiers throughout Trinidad and Tobago from the last 6 months in 2024, and you will get your answers. So Penelope trying to play a bright girl now. You know what? Let me raise a little issue. So Penny, how long has this issue been going on? Sturge asked you that, and I am asking you publicly now. Keep in mind, we live, eh? Caller, good night.
Yeah, hello?
Go right ahead, you're live.
Yes, hi, good night.
Good night.
I want you to know that Imbot is the one who cut down the budget for the soldiers.
Imbut?
Imbot cut the budget. So that's
Cut the budget. Yes, correct is right. Because Imbut also pull back security from judges also.
Right, okay, thanks very much.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for that. So you see Trinidad and Tobago? But Penelope want to talk now. Where's Imbut? Hey, watch me now. All I do get facts like this and no other shows, you know. Or no other shows, not even in news, you know. This is a real discussion. This is a real issue. Penelope playing bright girl now. You know what? We go talk about that because that's an issue. Since when this has been going on? But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago. Nevertheless, we good, you know. Oh, if I forget, hey, you know, I forget my own boat, boy. I forget my own yacht. Imagine that, Trinidad and Tobago. The thing's so sweet. People would say, oh, Saieed is a politician. No, I am not a politician. I am highlighting issues. Imagine, Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, they are soldiers. In case of a war, in case of a SOE and we need them on the streets, these are the men that is going out. These are the frontline men and them. Penelope, when I eating spaghetti and rice, how long they getting spaghetti and rice? How long, Penny? You know I would like? I would really like to hear some of the plea from soldier men themselves. Take what I'm telling earlier. From soldiers themselves, I would like to hear them plea. Hey, watch me, if they could have called Real Talk, that would be so nice, you know. Undercover call Real Talk and let them know, let us know, let Trinidad and Tobago know what it is be going through. You know, it's sad, you know. Imagine the police. I just see some police in some uniform. I swear them uniform is 20 years old. I'm telling you. Imagine bulletproof expire. No wonder why Rastaman Fitzgerald Hines said his job is not to secure Trinidad and Tobago. His job is not to protect us. No wonder why he said that. Imagine you watching a police coming up to you and his uniform washed out like a 20 years old. Even the police sign washing out. It's sad. So where all them money gone? Where all them money gone? All the money in both cut down, where it gone? To this date, in both cannot tell all them what they do with the property tax money. To this date. Beside your bashing, but if I bashing, I'll let you know what I'm bashing. I'll let you know the army, what they need, what's going on. I'll let you know the police, how they closes. Nevertheless, but before I finish this, I just want to highlight my yacht, you know, before it slipped my mind now, you know. So Trinidad and Tobago as of this weekend, Real Talk, yacht, my yacht, legend, is available to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago for down the island cruise, rental. You have your family, 15, 20 people. You want to go down the island, you want to cruise, not a problem. It is available Trinidad and Tobago as of this weekend. You want to plan down the island lime, you want to go for a little cruise outside, not a problem. Contact me, 3391670. Trinidad and Tobago, look at the inside now. Look at the inside now. You can imagine how I just enjoy this. Now, you can enjoy it, viewers. You can enjoy it. So friends, family, you want to go down the island, you want to lime, is not a problem. Now, the good thing about this, you're cooking your curry duck on the back deck, you know. Yes. Walk with your chicken season up, walk with your lap, your tattoo, your goatee, wherever it is. Holiday season close? Nevertheless, work with whatever meat you want, season it, and we cooking on the back deck. Hot food. Make your little dumpling, your little saltfish. You understand, Trinidad and Tobago? We cooking on the back deck. But nevertheless, viewers, contact me 3391670 and we could have a time down there. So viewers, we're going for a small commercial break. When we come back, questions arise amid secondary school violence when we return.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our south branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you. For you. For you. For you.
Throws you a curveball, and you need a clear path forward. Trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, we have a situation with our HTC house here I just want to highlight. I've been told about this today. There have been several issues in HTC houses in exchange housing settlement in Couva. Now, residents said for several days, brown water in the pipe. Brown water, you'll see the video just now. Brown water in the tap. The pipe are spoiling their clothes. The water. Persons in the area are calling for assistance or help from an HTC representative. Look at that. You gonna tell me you living in an HTC house and that's the kind of water you're getting? Oh gosh, come now man. I'll do better than that now. Apart from that now, viewers, they have reported structural errors. Poor tiling installation, rusty windows, sinkhole at the back of some of them houses in the townhouse, along with water pressure issue. So Trinidad and Tobago, let the audio play in this style. I want to let Trinidad and Tobago turn up your volume in the TV and listen to this.
Back up, back up. Stay there.
It's popping all the way up right now. Just come here. The entire thing. Did you know what I'm doing? I was laying in it.
Only how the tile cracking on that house.
Not being on it.
And let me tell you something. When you report it to HGC now, they can't do nothing. It's stinking sad. Show them the next video where all the tile come out the house. Look at that. Now I'll tell you something, viewers. Every month, this person have to pay for her home. Every month. Now I'll tell you something. This person moved into this townhouse in November 30th, 2021. Her mortgage every month is $3,500 with TTMB. She waited and waited and waited for repairs and nothing to this date. She's a single mother of 2 girls and she's a law-abiding citizen and she worked very, very hard for her dollar. When they go to HDC, we cannot do nothing. But all you collecting Madame $3,500 every month. Every month you're collecting Madame $3,500 and you can't do anything. It's sad. There are people who are not paying $100 a month for rent and only making sure that they are properly well secured. So HDC, down in Exchange, Cuba, here what's going on. Only go down and check the residents, find out where is their play, and talk to them. So for somebody from now HDC now, contact me at 339-1670 tomorrow. I will give all of the person's name and their address. And for God in heaven's sake, address the people problem. Otherwise, HDC representative, I will start calling all your name on TV. You know why I will do it? Lack of bloody hell representation. So if I don't want your name to call, trust me, all I want to call because I will stink up all you on TV. I will stink up all you. Eyesight will do that. And it have proof of all your lackadaisical. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. We own Trini people. We own Trini people to live like dogs and cats. How many HGC scandal all here so far in Trinidad and Tobago? How much? How much officials? How much police? How much executive? How much lower class? In scandalous thing. Just at the guy HDC's house. And every month now, I had to work now and pay my bill. Pay my bill. And all that's supposed to maintain. Sad, eh? But nevertheless, you see these issues? We go start raising them now. We go start raising them. So Trinidad and Tobago, we're going back to the normal proceedings for tonight. Opposition leader Penelope Beck says is raising alarm about the safety on school grounds. Penelope, why are you doing dumpling with baking powder in it, girl? I asking you that. Who was your colleague? Who was the minister in the Ministry of Education? Who was your colleague? All of a sudden, you want... Penny, let me tell you something. For the last 3 or 4 years, I, Saeed, have been highlighting bullying, drugs in the school, abuse in the school. You're in a position and you want to find out about the safety grounds in the school? Penelope, I feel if you eat dumpling with baking powder, it will be a little more useful. Her concerns come after 4 students of Arima North Secondary have been victim of gun violence in the recent past, along with the latest violent confrontation between students and teacher. Oh, let's listen to this.
At least 4 footballers that were attached to that school have been murdered. So that it is a school definitely that should be classified as a school that is at risk. So I'm calling that the matters be addressed urgently.
So Trinidad and Tobago, look what's taking place. Student abusing teacher right there. First week in school. Student abusing teacher. But nevertheless, come back to me. All I want to hear next, illiterate thing from Penny, be the leader of the opposition, while Gatsby Dolly was the Minister of Education for 9 consecutive years. How foolish some of them is. Becker's question, why police officers has not been stationed at the school, and also highlighted the need for a proper training for security personnel to protect students. Boy, first time I hear this. Penny, I don't know what kind of juice Penny drink. We have the video from today with the police officer. We have it, blood. See if I can download it now. So Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this, She made the comments after taking part in a reading session at Malabar RC School in partnership with NALIS for International Literacy Day, while several pupils shared their own experience of indiscipline. According to Beckles, International Literacy Day can play a vital role in sharpening the young minds and steering children away from criminals thinking from an early age. Listen to
When you talk about school violence, you don't wait until they get to secondary school. They were able to give us several instances, and I mean, they were shocked to receive about your ability. Simple things, your ability to read, your ability to write, your ability to communicate, your ability to share when you have challenges. Because, I mean, in my legal profession, you realize a lot of times when you deal with matters relating to domestic violence, people just don't know how to communicate. When, you know, the choices that you are likely to make would be better if you have the opportunities to benefit from education.
So Trinidad and Tobago, listen this now, Penny talking about police and training and questioning this and questioning that and questioning the next. And for 9 years you sit down on an MP seat while the UNC was in opposition, and you said nothing about school safety, you said nothing about police officers, you said nothing about training, you said nothing about highlighting issues in the school while you were sitting in the present government of the PNM that was governing Trinidad and Tobago for 9 years. Now all of a sudden, a security bug bite you, a safety bug bite you, a training bug bite you, education bug bite you. I love my show in Trinidad. I love my show. What was Gatsby Dolly doing? What she took? Sleeping tablet for 9 years? While the PNM children run amok. Gatsby Dolly said, not me. With retrospect of the recent school violence in secondary school, on Thursday, A video circulated online shows a pre-sale secondary school girl confronting a police officer who was also locked inside a classroom, showing no respect for authority. In the video, she tells the officer that it's good he got locked inside the classroom. That's the culprit? Watch my man, you make a joke. That confession right there. That is a confession right there, Trinidad and Tobago. Right there, there's a confession. I wish I could have showed her face on TV, you know, serious. I wish I could have showed her face on TV. Now, meanwhile, viewers, a Form 1 student of the Coral Secondary School in Komoto has become the first person to be detained by the newly formed school-oriented policing unit after he was found with a quantity of marijuana and wrapping paper at the school on Wednesday. You want to know how old this child is? This child is 13 years old and in police custody up till late last night as investigation continued. 13 years old. So all of a sudden now, Trinidad and Tobago, the security bug bite penny. Training bug bite penny. Well, where's Lumpkin? Where is Lumpkin? Where's the president of Tutor? Now's a good time to make a statement. Where's the NPTA? Where is Stuart? Now is the proper time to come out with a statement. Hey, Trinidad and Tobago, I love what IDA's doing, you know. I love what IDA's doing, you know. I love coming here Monday to Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. to highlight these issues for all you, you know. Imagine a school girl telling the police officer, good you get, boy, you making joke. You making joke. And then a 13-year-old with marijuana and wrapping paper in the school? Gasby Dolly, is that PNM children? I just want to ask you that live on television. Is that PNM children? Like I said, Trinidad and Tobago, I am not affiliated with no political party. But when I come to highlight the issue, PNM people, oh, you're bashing. The whole fix in front of your house. You're getting water 24. The cost of living gone up. How much time more you want to pay for gas? And what Penny said? We want Inboot to come back. We're begging for Inboot to come back to raise gas again. So the PNM people would have to use bicycle not to ride to work. Trinidad and Tobago, I am proud to say tonight, live on my show, I am not affiliated with any political party. None. Here's the reason why I could come up and tell PNM and I could come and tell UNC. You know, let me tell you something. I don't have to zip this mouth, you know. No, I'm not afraid. I am a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. I am a father. My son was almost kidnapped 4 years back. I am a victim of crime. A father of a victim of crime. So when I hear pushing for something, it's a benefit all year too. It's a benefit all year too. We have a bridge in Shogunas here. I love how racket is run. Hear this, eh? We have a bridge in Shogunas here. How do you call the bridge in the back there, Nat? Where they put the rail on top? But anyhow, while I get in the name of the bridge, listen to this, eh? A truck used to pass on the bridge up and down. Perseverance. Truck passing on the bridge up and down, no limit, anything could pass on it. They said they release contract, they release tender, they find a contractor. Trinidad and Tobago, when they're done fix the bridge now, they put a limit to pass on it. So let me just draw a reference for you. If you get 10 million to fix the bridge that truck used to pass on before, 7-ton, 8-ton truck passing on the bridge before, 10 million they get to fix the bridge, so truck could continue passing. I'm just saying something, eh? May even know who is the contractor. Now, when you spend about $1 million, $2 million to fix the bridge, when you're done fix the bridge now, you know what you do? Nothing more than 2 tons could pass on the bridge. Nothing more than 2 tons to pass on the bridge. And you put up a big barricade on top now, so truck can't pass and only van and car could pass. Before, we didn't have no barricade on top. Before, a truck 7, 8, 9 ton could have passed on it. When you're done fix the bridge now, nothing more than 1.5 tons. So I just want to say now, so if somebody gets 10 million to fix the bridge, and a 10 ton used to pass on it, when you're done fix the bridge now, you can't, nothing more than 1.5 tons to pass on the bridge? Really? How do you call that Trinidad and Tobago? 8-inch Shogunas and 11 Shogunas, and I am highlighting it in Shogunas. That is what I'm doing. People don't like me. As long as God like me, me are begging all you for no money to sponsor this show. Hey, watch me now. Hey, well, let's think we can handle this blank. Think again, you know. As I say, I do spiritual work in Trinidad and Tobago, born gifted, travel numerous countries, dealing with ministers, dealing with business sector. Imagine, my business is financing. My business is financing. Real Talk Financing, I am the managing director of Real Talk Financing. We have Real Talk Credit Union. I am the president of Real Talk Credit Union. We have Real Talk Security and Intelligence Service. I run an intelligence crew. Right here in Trinidad and Tobago, I am Real Talk Equipment Rental Viewers. So we have some excavator recently came in there. It's for sale, it's for rent, those of you interested. But hopefully by Monday, I will do some videos and you're going to see it. Plus, I have my boat out for rental now, viewers. Those of you interested in renting a yacht, going down the island, you want to rock back, you want to take some time out from work, you and the family, carry the kids down the island. Come on, we have life jacket for the kids to jump out and bathe. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. You need a hot curry duck, good pepper, bunge that on the boat itself on the back deck. You could do that. Real Talk Yacht might be the only boat down the island all cooking on. And you know what I mean to say, I must give all of something, you know, a little courtesy of something. Courtesy Real Talk. You understand? So viewers, it's been a pleasure being with you all here on this Thursday night. Remember the weekend is coming up. Tomorrow there's a rerun of this program, 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. viewers. Friday night, lock on 7 to 8 p.m. We'll be right back here for our next Real Talk with Saieed as we go live on our Friday night. So until then, be safe.